Well, welcome back everyone. Thanks a lot for coming back. Thanks a lot for sticking with me. I know it's been a little bit of a drought here in terms of videos being uploaded. If you follow me, sometimes maybe you'll see that I've liked videos or subscribed to users, and as of late, that's about all I've had time for. I'd like to say that it's because the weather here has been great and I've been getting out and riding a lot and getting ready for the race season, but yeah, it really hasn't. Weather just, oh man, it just stinks. Forcing myself outside now just because our season's coming, whether we like it or not, and whether the weather wants to cooperate or not. So, but anyway, also work has been kind of getting in the way. For the first time in 18 years working for the same company, I actually got to go on a business trip. And got to go and help some of our folks in another facility, and that facility is located in Baltimore. And I was hoping to do some rail fanning while I was out there, but unfortunately I was out there for work and they pretty much worked us like rented mules, and I didn't get a whole lot of time to see much of anything. I heard a lot of trains, but didn't get to go and watch any. I was kind of disappointed. I really, being in Wisconsin, I'm kind of inundated and flooded with Union Pacific and Canadian National and Canadian Pacific, and while those are great, it's great to see trains. You get kind of used to seeing the same thing. So it would have been nice to be out there and get to see some Norfolk Southern and CSX and everything that's out that way. But oh well, maybe in the future if I get to go again, I'll get to see some of that. So, model railroad stuff. I think this is going to be a little bit of a short update. Like I said, unfortunately I haven't had a lot of time to work on things. I'm shooting this intro after shooting some footage, so I can't promise what's all going to be ahead in the video because I kind of don't remember what I all recorded and what I didn't record and what I showed and what I didn't. So it's kind of another grab bag of stuff. I know some of you said you enjoyed the grab bag. No particular project in mind. I was thinking, and I'll flip over to it, I can show you the LumberYard that I've been starting to work about. I'm sorry, anytime I hear LumberYard I always think Chevy Chase and Caddyshack. But I've got the base down. I cut some concrete slabs for it, and actually now I realize I have too much space allotted for it. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to scratch build a warehouse for the lumber, and it should be simple enough. I've got some evergreen styrene, some metal siding, and kind of go that route. Nothing fancy, just to have another building. If nothing else, if it's just a placeholder for the time being, and maybe down the road I'll make something more elaborate. But it won't be a Vinny building. It'll have to do good enough for the the girls I date, as I always say. But so let's flip over. I'll show you what we've got going and go from there. Well, you guys are going to have to forgive me for some of these scenes. I am suddenly competing with my daughters for use of my video camera. They've decided to, I guess, follow my lead and started recording some shows of their own. Not model train related. They're doing some, I don't know, some mermaid thing. So we'll see if I'll be linking to their channel or not. I don't know if I want to be affiliated with them yet. But in the meantime, I thought I'd continue shooting some stuff here. So I'm using my GoPro camera, which is kind of unique. It's as you can see, it's kind of a wide angle. They tout their wide angle, and I know there's a way to narrow it down, so I might have to do that. But for the time being, I thought I'd just use it to shoot some stuff here. So basically, what I'm going to work on now, I've decided to start with this LumberYard. And so what I did was I went to my local hobby shop, Hiawatha Hobbies, for those of you in the Wisconsin area, southwest or southeast Wisconsin area. They're located in, ultimately it's Pewaukee or Waukesha, Wisconsin. Great little hobby shop. But I picked up some of these Woodland Scenics N-scale. It's track for their foam road bed, but it comes in a big sheet. Well, not a big sheet. It was what is this? Probably 11 by 17-ish, and So I'm going to use this as a base, and then I've got 40 thousandths. This is just a piece of evergreen styrene, but I'm going to ultimately use some of the leftover stuff that I bought that I used for the backdrop. That's also 40 thousandths, but I'm going to lay this over the top, and what the great thing is the end scale foam roadbed is about roughly the thickness of the ties on the track. So this butts up real nice up against the track, and it'll give me a good, there's a bump here, but it won't totally be noticeable once everything's in, and it'll give the appearance of the rail in the concrete. And so that brings me to the next point. So once I've got these sheets cut out, I'll paint this concrete color. I'll probably prime it all gray and then come back with some washes of lighter colors to try and give a concrete or asphalt look, depending on what I decide to go with here. I'm going to try grabbing the camera just to see how this looks. I've got the GoPro app running on my phone here, and it's not real time. It updates via Wi-Fi to my iPhone here, so it kind of gives me an idea of what I'm looking at through the camera, but we'll see what happens here. So you can see here, these are the sheets that I've laid down, and I'll probably trim this one up a little bit so this is in line. Probably have a roadway coming off here. As you can see, I just put down a coat of like a tan, almost sand color. It's a little lighter than I wanted, but I picked up a half like a pint of overstock from my local hardware store, and it was only $2, so I figured it's good enough to just hide the pink. And so then I've just kind of curved it around. This area will be a little bit more difficult, just because it's the track is coming down on this the foam road bed, so I'll see how I can work this in here. But then I've got a piece here. I'll have another piece of concrete, and then in here I'll probably have another one that just butts up against this structure here. So not a whole lot really big going on here, but I think I'm going to just continue to cut the styrene. Like I said, this is just a piece of evergreen, but I want to use the larger sheets, hopefully get a nice big piece and scribe some lines into it to make it look like it's slabs of concrete, kind of thing. Like I said, I shot some of this stuff a while back, so I'm not positive what I all have to show, but this is the end result. And so this is just some of the 042 or 040 or 40 thousandths thick styrene, and I painted it. Started with a coat of Rust-Oleum primer gray, and then came back with just different coats of aged concrete and white and sand, and just kind of tried to vary it. I'm not thrilled with the color, but yeah, I think once I can try and get some weathering powder in, I've started, I don't think they're going to show up, but I've started to just pencil in and marker in some cracks and lines and stuff like that. So I'm going to keep working on that. And then, like I said, I think I'm going to possibly create like a warehouse up in this area here, just because there's a lot of space, and this really isn't filling the spaces as well as I'd like, so I think maybe in this area there'll be a warehouse. But you can kind of see I've embedded the track, and okay, I'm going to use the 050 switcher here, but things roll pretty smooth for the most part. I've got it's just the styrene in between, and I believe I recorded that, so hopefully that will be part of this video. But the beauty is that if there are any flange issues in between the rails here, I can just trim that with an X-Acto blade, or maybe even a file, just to get some extra space in there. I haven't run an engine through here. I just ran some cars through. So far so good. Some rough areas, but seems to be okay. I know you're getting a lot of the ceiling here. Unfortunately, I'm still using the GoPro to show you guys this, but one of the things that I decided to add on these backdrops is just some wispy clouds in the background, and to do that I went ahead and took some pieces of cardboard and I just cut some rough, you know, kind of shapes out, and I did that on both sides, and I actually have two of them, one a little bit larger. And so then I just came through and I put down a sheet or a plastic sheet, and then I came in and just with a can of spray paint, white spray paint, just really lightly wisped in, you know, some paint, just to kind of give the hint of clouds in the background here. I didn't want anything too hard, you know, too solid, you know, just to give a little bit of white. And then after I got the overall look in, I came back and just kind of misted over just to give it a little bit of a haze. My wife said some of them are a little bit too uniform, and I have to agree, but the good news is I can come over this with some blue paint and redo it. I'm not that far along, and I'm not, you know, that sold on it. Here's just another sample of the clouds. I thought these turned out a little bit better. You know, they're not exactly perfect. They do have a little bit of uniform look to them, but for the most part I thought they turned out okay. And again, I can always correct them if I need to. Well, like I said, unfortunately it's a little bit of a shorter one this time. I'm hoping things settle down. The last several weeks, when I got back from being out of town, it was Pinewood Derby time. My son's in Cub Scouts and my daughter's in Girl Scouts, and they all get to race, and so we had Pinewood Derby cars to make, and so I had you know, doing all that stuff. And if I had them here, I just took them tonight to do the weigh-in and the official check-in. The races are tomorrow, depending on when I get this uploaded. But so we've been doing that, and racing season is coming, so fear not. I do plan to keep shooting as much video as I can. But I think I'm going to be thinned out a little bit between work and racing and stuff like that. And but I hope to keep them coming as much as I can. Thanks everyone for sticking with me. I really appreciate it. And know that there are more videos down the line as soon as I can get to it. So thanks a lot everybody, and we'll see you in the next video.